Igbo mepụta nke ahụrụ n'anya ekele m no. Yes, I'm an Ahande na Zondi. I still remain your favorite custodian of Igbo culture and tradition. High Chief, I will say Golden Seed, the Oracle, or the Mbwemekembu number of the Holy Kedruna Lekwebere. Oh yes. In today's episode of Igbo history, we're going to be looking at Igbo. Igbo, yes. So we're going to be looking at the Kolanut, known as Oji in Igbo land. Oh yes. I want to let you know this. The Yorubas, they plant Kolanut. The Hausas, they eat Kolanut. While the Igbos, they perform the traditional rites associated with Kolanut. Yes. So that is the Igbo saying that Yoruba na Koji, Hausa na Toji, Mani Igbo, Nemo Menala de Noji, I na Woji. Oh yes. Now, the Kolanut is one important and integral part of Igbo culture. You can never do without the Kolanut in Igbo culture. Yes, it is very symbolic in every gathering of Igbo people in any part of the world and in any occasion and in any situation. The Kolanut is very, very important. Now, in this video, we're going to be extensively discussing the Kolanut. We're going to make it as extensive as we can in these few minutes that we have. Oh yes. Now the Kolanut grows in the kola tree and it is widely cultivated and consumed all across West Africa. Particularly in Igbo land and Igbo culture, the Oji is considered as one sacred symbol that represents communion, unity and respect for the community. Yes. The Oji is used in several occasions and in several things and for several purposes. Now, firstly, the Oji is used as a symbol of hospitality and welcome. Whenever one visits a particular Igbo home or Igbo family, the first thing that is being presented as a sign of welcome, as a sign of acceptance, as a sign of hospitality is the Oji. But in today's time, the Oji has been substituted with so many things. So when you enter into an Igbo home, they will tell you, this is Kola, we've presented you Kola. So we are presenting you the Oji to show that you are welcome. So, and the Oji can be substituted with the drinks, water, food, or anything at all that the family or the home that you went to visit deems fit or deems necessary or is available at that moment. They will present it and make sure that there's resounded that this is Kola. So you are not seeing that as a drink, you're not seeing that as a food, you're just seeing it as a Kola. And that Kola or the Oji there represents welcome, it represents acceptance. It means that your visit to that home is well appreciated and you are most welcome. That is number one. Secondly, the Oji is also used to seal agreements or contracts. If you have an agreement with somebody, if there's any contract that you've entered in with someone, the Oji significantly is also used to seal the agreement. It is seen as a binding force, a natural binding force to contracts. So when there's a contract between two persons, a Kolanut is all usually broken. You break the Kolanut and you share between yourselves and it to bind yourselves to that contract. Yes. All right. Thirdly, the Kolanut is also used in Igbo traditional religion. Kolanut is also used as sacrifices. In Igbo tradition, we use the Kolanut as a symbol of connecting with our ancestors and even to the gods of the land. Just give them Kolanut to also pay homage to them. Yes. So in Igbo religion, we know very well and we accept very well that our dead loved ones are not totally separated from us. No, but they're always around to guide us, to give us insights and wisdom whenever we are in between issues or whenever we are in a dilemma. They're always there to guide us. So they are our ancestors. And at every time, we always make remembrance of them. We always include them in our practices, in our prayers. We include them in our decision making, and we include them in virtually everything that we do. So that is why you always hear the Igbo man just drops a piece of Kolanut and say, Ndi nanai ekelemono, Ndi nanai, that our forefathers, we greet you. This one is your own. So whenever there is Kolanut that is broken, you see some parts are always broken and thrown to the earth, thrown to the ground, and it is for the ancestors, for our dead loved ones. Yes. Still on the traditional religion, Kolanut is also symbolic in divination. So it is also used to divine, to look into the future, to look into a future of a person, to look into a situation, to look into what the cause of a particular thing. So if a child is born and the parents take the child to the priests and want to know the outcome, what will be the outcome of this child, what will be the future of this child, what will be the destiny of this child. So before that is looked into, Kolanut must be presented, because it is very symbolic for divination. The opening of every event must be done with Kolanut. Kolanut is also used for prayers. Yes, in a typical Igbo practice, in a typical Igbo culture, that is done by the Kolanut. We call it Ewoji. Oji is brought forward and it is broken into pieces, and prayers are made. When those prayers are made, broken Kolanuts are thrown to the earth, off to the gods, off to the ancestors, and it seals the whole deal. All right. So no Igbo event, no Igbo culture, no Igbo tradition, nothing that concerns the Igbo person or the Igbo tradition that is done without the Kolanut. So you can see that the Kolanut is one thing that the Igbo nation can never do without. Yes. There's a Mojibo that you find out that they are naturally parted into 3 places, into 4 places, into 5 places, into 6 places. So we're going to be looking at the interpretation, the Igbo interpretation to these things. What the Kolanut will be used for is always determined by how many pieces the Kolanut is naturally divided into. So that's what we'll be looking at. Now, a Kolanut that is divided into 2, just as you see on the screen here, a Kolanut that is divided into 2 represents Elu and Allah. It represents Elu and Allah. It represents the heavens and the earth. The heavens and the earth. Now, this kind of Kolanut is not to be eaten. It is not to be eaten. It is assumed that the Kolanut is dumb. The Kolanut is not saying anything particularly. So this Kolanut is not to be eaten. It is not used for any traditional rites. This kind of Kolanut is just thrown off to the spirits, thrown off to the ancestors, thrown off to the gods. That's all. The Kolanut that is naturally divided into 3 places is called Oji Ikenga. Oji Ikenga. The Oji, it comes with a coating. So with that coating, you don't know how many parts it is divided into. You don't know whether it's divided into 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7. You don't know. So once you pick it up, you open the coating. Once you open the coating and the real Kolanut is revealed, that is when you now know how many parts it is. So when you open the coating, when you open that the coating that the Kolanut has and bring it out and you see that it's divided into 2, immediately what you do is break it off and throw it off to the spirits, straight off to the ancestors. Then when you open the coating and you see that it is divided into 3, it means that in that garden that there is a presence of a great ancestor. For once you open the coating and you find out that the Oji has 4 parts, is divided into 4 naturally, it signifies the 4 market days. When a Kolanut is in 4 parts, it is said that the Kolanut bazurabazu, or the Kolanut is complete. Why? Because it covers the 4 market days. It is complete. In the Igbo tradition, and Igbo culture, every week has 4 days. In 4 days, the 4 market days covers a week. Yes, the 4 market days covers a week in Igbo tradition. So when you get a Kolanut that is in 4 places, you can say that yes, that Kolanut is complete. So it is important to know that most of the Kolanut in Igbo tradition, most of the Kolanut in Igbo land has 4 patterns. Is divided into 4 naturally. Most, I didn't say all of it, say most of them. You have more of Kolanuts that are divided into 4 than any other ones. So you just have to take note of that. So you rarely see these other ones because these other ones are manifestations and a sign, a way that the gods or the ancestors speak to us through these are, we can call it omens, that the ancestors use to expressly speak to us. When the Kolanut is uncovered and it has 5 patterns, it signifies unity. It signifies you, just like the 5 fingers. As you can see, these 5 fingers, they are not equal. We know that the 5 fingers are not equal, but the 5 fingers work together in unity. That is what it signifies. So when you open a Kolanut and you find out that it has 5 patterns, it signifies unity. It signifies unity. When you remove the coating of the Kolanut and you find out that it has 6 patterns or 7 patterns or as many patterns upwards, it represents multiplication, it represents joy, great joy, it represents promotion, it represents good news, it represents progress, it represents continuity, long life. It represents every good thing that you can think of. So in as much as something that is progressive, in as much as something good news that brings joy, that's what it represents. So it calls for celebration. So whenever in an event a kolanut is brought up, probably to be used for to make the opening libation, we call it egofo, and you open it and you find out that it has six patterns or 7 patterns. Immediately it is announced to the people that this kolanut it has so patterns, and celebration begins immediately. Everybody goes on with that joy that yes, something good is coming. And now for some persons who have not known these things and just take kolanut to be one thing that we just chew and just eat and just like that, no, we attach a whole lot of importance, we attach a whole lot of significance, we attach a whole lot of honor to kolanut. And we treat it with honor, we treat it with respect, because it is very sacred. It is very important to know this. The Igbo kolanut in Igbo culture does not hear English language. Hence, there's this saying that Ojana Anubeke. In the Igbo culture, women don't do anything that concerns traditional rites with the kolanut. It is an exclusive right of the male, from the eldest to the least. Yeah, so in a gathering of women and there is only one little boy that is there, which is an Igbo person, if there will be a traditional rite done by the kolanut, it will be done by that little boy. Yes. Now, it is not a form of segregation or demeaning the women. No, it is not. It is just that the orgy is significantly a masculine duty. The duty for the men. Now, in Igbo culture, there are some duties that are exclusively for the women that the men are not permitted by Igbo culture to handle, no matter what. They are not. So it is exclusive for the women. But once it concerns the orgy, is a traditional rite that is expected exclusively for the male persons to handle. So yes, so just for you to take note of that. So remember, I told you that it is very important in Igbo culture to always have it at the back of our minds that our dead ancestors are not dead and forgotten, are not some people that are far away from us, are not outside of us, but they are part of us. So in every gathering, in every meeting, we always recognize their presence. Yes. So after the prayer has been made, you have to cut some pieces of the kolanut and say, Ndi nanai nke abu kennu, Ndi chia nke abu kennu. You understand that our forefathers, this one is for you. Our dead loved ones and ancestors, this one is for you. I just hope this helps you very much. So I want you to know that in Igbo culture, that can never be played down on. What is that? The kolanut is very, very important. So till I see you next time, please, I want you to do well to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow up our videos. It is going to be coming often and on this week, next week, and continuously. Yes. I want to give a shout out to our special audience is that engineered this particular content. I love you guys wherever you are. I love you guys. I love you guys so much. So I'm going to do my best and give you more of the contents from the list of the things I have to list to do videos on. I will do them judiciously as much as I can. Thank you very much. See you next time.